Hey everybody, it's Midwest Comic Man, and I am back from the dead. Maybe. I don't know. For this episode of Creator Spotlight, since it's been so long, we're going to go look at one of the most important creators of the Golden and Silver Age, creator of the Submariner, co-creator of Daredevil, Bill Everett. Bill Everett was born in 1917 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. At age 12, he developed tuberculosis and spent time in Arizona to recover, where he had his first drink and became an alcoholic as a teenager. Due to his alcoholism, his parents removed him from high school, enrolled him in art school, but he dropped out. He bounced around a little bit in the commercial art world trying to find his niche, and he started freelancing for this new company called Centaur Publications, which was one of the first publishers in the Golden Age, where he co-created one of the earliest superheroes ever, Amazing Man. He then worked for Funnies Inc., where he would create his most famous character, the Submariner. After World War II, he returned to Marvel Comics, where he helped create Daredevil, and would work until his death at the age of 55 in 1973, in the midst of several projects that would never be finished. Here are 12 of his greatest covers in no particular order. First, we have Journey into Mystery 9. Classic pre-code Everett work, with the look of terror on the face of the doctor and nurse evident, with fine line work. I love how he shows very little of the monster, just a claw you see with bits of bone poking through holes in the skin. What your mind creates is infinitely more terrifying than anything he could show. Next, we have Strange Tales 51. A postcode cover that taps into a primal fear for many of us. Can you imagine being trapped on a boat with no land in sight? The boat is overrun with insects? My skin crawls just thinking about it. My ass would be over the side of the boat in a split second. Better to be shark food than covered in creepy crawlies. Maybe postcode, this cover's scary. Next is Venus 18. It's one of the oddest comics of the Golden Age. Space of 19 issues, Venus hit almost every genre in comics. It was at various times a humor comic, romance, fantasy, sci-fi, and horror, sometimes a combination of the above. The last few were pure pre-code horror. This one's a great cover showing someone took a wrong turn at the Tunnel of Love. 4 menacing skeletons blast a man as Venus cowers in terror. Great water effects and some menacing skeletons make this cover great. Next is Venus 19, all-time classic pre-code horror cover for the final issue of Venus. Nothing I would change on this cover, as it's just about perfect. Menacing skeletons in the background, suitably terrified buxom blonde, screaming as her beau's true nature is revealed. It's all here, and it's glorious. DS Comics would be proud. Next is Amazing Man Comics 1, one of the earliest superheroes, and one of Everett's earliest creations. Not a very well-known character today, but a very important character in the early development of the Golden Age of comics. Very understated cover, but you can see glimpses of the brilliance we were in store for from Everett. Next is Menace number 5, another 5-star classic PCH cover from Everett. Some of his Atlas PCH work is some of my favorite of his work. In the issue, a zombie bursts through the surface of the street as onlookers gape in terror. Great work portrays the forcefulness of the zombie's appearance with clods of dirt flying as he erupts like a volcano. Truly a classic cover. Next is Menace number 3. Another one of my favorite Everett PCH covers, with an amazingly detailed rendition of a werewolf. Intricate line work and detail in the fur of the werewolf, subtle details on the shotgun. I really love the fact that you can see some humanity remaining in the face of the werewolf, not just a straight wolf cover. Great stuff. Next is Jan of the Jungle 15. This one's here for my buddy JD. You guessed it, an elephant cover. Aside from a well-detailed, amazing elephant, we have a suitably scantily clad Jan swinging in to stop some ne'er-do-wells, one of whom refers to her as a she-tiger. Great cover, shows Everett could do work in just about any genre. Next is Adventures into Weird Worlds 19. I love this cover. There was no shortage of Headless Knight covers in the PCH days, but this one's executed flawlessly. Great details on the armor. The last looks suitably terrified, but what really sells this cover is the expression of the guy behind the knight. He has lost his ever-flippin' mind, and it shows. Awesome cover. Next is Journey into Unknown Worlds 54. Had to have a mummy cover in there somewhere. And what's better than one mummy? Lots of mummies. And a labyrinthian tomb. And a terrified guy trapped in there. That one mummy on the right, though, like me, he looks like he could use a few less sandwiches. You're looking a little punchy there, bub. Next is Mystery Tales 50. What's better than one mummy cover? 2 mummy covers. I love the headdress on this mummy, and the way he uses perspective, light, and shadow are top-notch. This is a great postcode cover from Everett. Finally, we have Submariner 33. To go with the mummy covers, my other niche is Frogman covers. Here we have a great cover from the short-lived Atlas revival of the timely Submariner series. These issues all focused on the Red Menace, and here we have the Submariner ripping the air hose off a Soviet diver as others approach from ships and submarines. Classic stuff. I've only scratched the surface with the work of Everett, and I'll likely do a part 2 at some point. I cannot praise his work highly enough, and his influence cannot be denied, as he was involved in the creation of several characters that are still in use today, as well as being involved in the earliest beginnings of the Golden Age. Truly a master. It's a shame we lost him so young. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and sub me up. Next issue of Creator Spotlight is still up in the air, so keep your eye out. It may be one of your favorites. Also, the next episode of Inside the Covers, which will spotlight a Golden Age key, is in process. I apologize that Inside the Covers takes longer, but it's a lot more work to produce. If there are any creators you would like to see spotlighted, or an issue you would like to see on Inside the Covers, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure you tune in for Golden Guys on Tuesday night, a weekly journey into the Golden Age of comics with a motley group of characters. Comic Core on Friday nights, the happy hour of the comic community where anything can happen, and other live content nightly from the Comic Core. Also, check out Blaster Stash at Sunday nights, the best reviews and new books out there, as well as at least one Drew and Joe fight an episode. For my comic community shout out this episode, please check out ComicManAndy. Currently at 100 subs. We need to get him more as he figures out this YouTube thing. He has 6 videos so far. He's definitely an excitable chap. Check him out, sub him up, and let's get him to make some more videos. Until next time, this is Midwest Comic Man coming at you from the funny pages.